Welcome. Carlos Orizade. So, dear Ambassador, His Excellency Johan Borgstam, Minister Stylianidis, distinguished excellencies, speakers, guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 7th Greece-Sweden Business Forum. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Hellenic Swedish Chamber of Commerce, we're very proud and honored to have your participation here today, some live and many online. And we're very grateful that we managed to continue the annual forum as we've had in the years, even though due to disruption and difficulties due to COVID and other many challenges, we're able to transform, adapt, and actually manage a hybrid version this year. So we're gonna, as we are here today, we have a full live streaming online version. Also, we're looking, as the topic is relative to this, sustainable behavior towards our forum. So we're actually in a very sustainable building, as some of the colleagues mentioned today here. And we're also using sustainable format with paper-free and more digital registrations. So we are making our efforts. The Hellenic Swedish Chamber of Commerce vision is to create a platform to share insights, create inspiration, and produce ideas by pulling in best practices from both countries. Collaboration and creating synergies are the main objectives of our efforts and events. Sweden continues to be at the forefront of sustainability, digitalization, and innovation. And there's a lot of experience that we can bring to Greece from Sweden. Our chamber is now on its 31st year of operation here in Greece. We have over 100 member companies, and 33 of them are Swedish entities that have been established in Greece for more than 50 years. Last week, I also had the honor to be in Stockholm and inaugurate our chapter. During the COVID time, with the challenges and difficulties, we started to be really innovative and think about how to grow the chamber, and the need of networking became even stronger. The project of the chapter, which was our expansion project, was actually in high demand, because we have many Greek companies interested to enter Sweden that have not been able to, and we have many Swedish entities interested in joint ventures and projects with Greece. So it's really a great chance to now really strengthen and further grow more synergies between our countries. The theme of the 7th Business Forum is climate action, challenges and solutions. Climate change is creating a more uncertain economic environment forcing researchers, forcing companies and governments to understand, confront and adapt to the rising challenges. The forum is focused particularly on exchange of Swedish and Greek best practices and ideas related to how to successfully face the climate change. We will hear from different sectors of how we are looking at redefining our business strategies with recyclable concepts, with new business models, and with smart infrastructures. If many of you saw the weather last night, we can say that disaster and climate change is creating climate disasters here and there, and it's kind of very relevant to understand why this topic is really on the top of the agenda. So I would like to thank and say we're honored as keynote speaker today to have Minister Stylianidis, Minister of Climate, Crisis and Civil Protection. And then we have a an interesting panel of 4 sessions, a variety of speakers and specialists from Greece and abroad. We have brought together representatives from the government to inspire and give insights, and from companies that will give solutions and ideas, so to help Greece actually leap into a sustainable future. I also must say a big thank you to our sponsors. The support that we get from our member companies and sponsors is really important so that our activities can run. So really grateful to SKF, ABB, Alfa Laval, Combitrans, Sarakakis Group of Companies, Electrolux, Thermovent, Volvo Caralas, Provident, and Simikalis Kalonaru Law Firm. Thank you. Now, I would like to also introduce our moderator for today, Ms. Maria Bura. Maria has more than 30 years of experience in high technology, multi-customer, multi-country environment. She's a sought-after speaker and has been an Ericsson spokesperson and company representative at key industry fora and national associations in various countries over the years. Maria will moderate the sessions and also welcome the ambassador to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, Ms. Patsiopoulou, honorable guests. It's a great honor for me to be your guide throughout this exciting evening tonight. Climate change is a harsh reality, as we already said, fast developing into the most severe crisis that humankind has ever faced. And the final outcome is still unknown to a great extent, as it largely depends on the actions that we will take or not, or fail to take today. So let us explore together the climate action challenges and opportunities that arise from climate change. And let me start by calling on stage Your Excellency, Mr. Johan Borgstam, Ambassador of Sweden to Greece. Please come to stage. Thank you.
So, Excellency, dear friend Christos Stylianides, Minister of Climate Crisis and Civil Protection, dear Rania, dear members of the Hellenic Swedish Chamber, and I'd like to immediately take this opportunity also to thank the Secretariat of the Chamber for the hard work in realizing what we're going to do together today. And also, of course, just like Rania, to thank the amazing sponsors that made this occasion possible. And for me, as Swedish ambassador, it's of course fantastic to stand here before you today, to look at the theme of today, climate action, challenges and solutions. Sounds like a formulation stolen from one of Minister Stylianides' speeches. And let me take this opportunity also, Minister, to congratulate Prime Minister Mitsotakis and your good self to the passing on Wednesday of the new climate law in the Hellenic Parliament. That was quite an achievement. And speaking as a Swedish ambassador, as you know, Sweden has now reached a point where more than 60% of the energy mix in Sweden comes from renewables. So as a country, the Swedish government, I would dare say all Swedish political parties stand firmly behind this vision of increasing this even more. You might know that the Swedish target is to become completely fossil neutral by 2045, where we're well on the way to reach this target. And in this respect, I'm also particularly happy and honored to welcome Professor Thomas Kåberger, who is with us today. Professor Kåberger is also a former Director General of the Swedish Energy Agency and one of Europe's foremost experts on energy and renewables. And what is going on in Sweden right now is actually not only exciting, I believe it's a benchmark also in relation to other countries. You will have seen that the northern part of Sweden has in a very short time become a leading example internationally when it comes to green industrial transition. And there's been huge industrial investments, something like 10 billion euros in the north of Sweden, not least in battery factories and fossil-free steel production. I think when we discuss these topics today, the amount of challenges that have piled on Europe, Sweden, Greece are by now quite impressive. I mean, we had economic crisis, we had the COVID crisis, we had the migration crisis, and on top of it, we now have the tragedy unfolding in Ukraine because of the Russian invasion. But the Russian invasion of Ukraine has also really put the searchlights on the importance of green transition and the work that Minister Stylianides is leading in Greece on increasing the focus on renewable energy. And I can assure you, Minister, that there's a lot of Swedish interest also in the transition ongoing in Greece, for example, in relation to the LNG terminal in Alexandroupolis and the vision of that being established by December 2023, and the implications not just in relation to the climate, but also in over time ensuring European energy independency, because that to me is a very fine example of what I know that the Greek government has for quite some time now been on the barricades for, namely European strategic autonomy. And you can't have European strategic autonomy without a certain amount of European independence when it comes to energy. So let me put a stop to myself there, but also like Rania emphasized the importance of the visit last week in Stockholm of Minister Fragogyannis, the conversations he had with the Swedish Minister of Trade, which to a large extent focused on exactly the topics on the agenda for this event. And as Rania also emphasized, the opening of our dynamic chambers chapter in Stockholm. So that will be that for me, and without further ado, I bounce the ball back to you, Maria, so you can bounce it further on to the Minister. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency.